All right, good morning.
Good morning.
We have Karen here from South Carolina who's going to tell us a little bit of a story about her father and grandfather who were in the Marines in World War II.
Last Thursday, I presented Dr. Rutledge with a Gung Ho pin and told him a little bit about where the word Gung Ho came from and about my grandfather. And he asked me to share with y'all today. In 1937, my grandfather, then a captain in the Marine Corps, Evans Carlson, arrived in Shanghai, China on the day that the Japanese started bombing. Unbeknownst to all but a few, he was there on a secret assignment from President Roosevelt to observe the Chinese as they resisted the Japanese. He ended up getting permission to travel up into the north, into Yan'an and what's called the Taihang base area, to observe the communist Chinese as they fought. Literally, they were guerrillas, literally with sticks and rocks and very little to keep them going, to fight the Japanese. And while he was there, he learned a lot about guerrilla warfare. He was very impressed with the spirit of the people and their dedication. He came out of China after traveling nearly a year in the mountains of North China, came out and resigned his commission to be free to speak out against the atrocities being committed against the Chinese people. He wanted to educate the West. He rejoined the Marine Corps then shortly before Pearl Harbor and was appointed after Pearl Harbor to form what became the first modern military special forces unit, called the 2nd Raider Battalion, also known as Carlson's Raiders. The motto for the Raiders was Gung Ho, and Gung Ho is actually Chinese. It's Gung Ho and means to work together, to work in harmony. And that was the motto of the Raiders. Well, the Raiders went on to effectively execute the first successful offensive against the Japanese on a remote island in the Pacific called Makin Island. And from that point on, they became a legend in Marine Corps history and actually national heroes of that time. Now, the reason that I gave Dr. Rutledge that pin is because, and my husband and I talked about it last night, there's very much about his approach to his patients and helping his patients that very much reminded us of the Gung Ho philosophy. A big part of the Gung Ho philosophy was that everyone was of equal value within the unit. Everyone was educated as to what the mission was. There's no small player in the mission. And back in World War II, the Japanese knew that if they could take out the officers or NCOs, that they could pretty much defeat a unit because only the leaders really knew what was going on. And that was one of the secrets to the Raiders' great effectiveness. Now, Dr. Rutledge takes that same approach very much with his patients. My granddad used to have what was called Gung Ho meetings, where everyone would openly discuss what they were going to be doing and how the mission was going to be effected, and then afterwards would openly discuss and critique how things had went. How can we do it better? And I think that very much reflects Dr. Rutledge's approach with his education. He ensures that the patient is a part of the process, that you're very well educated.
Well, and I want to thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I just have always been interested in the history of World War II. And of course, as all of us remember, when we were bombed in Pearl Harbor, America faced a pretty tough challenge. And going back and fighting, taking back the Pacific Islands was something that the Marine Corps led in World War II, and the stories of the heroism of those Marines in those times is something I think we should never forget. And I think we asked Karen to take a minute and kind of tell that story about her family and how they contributed to all of us having the freedom to look forward to the upcoming elections. And so thank you very much.
Appreciate that opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also, as a little aside, since that's going to be on video, that little story, about your grandfather and starting the Marine Raiders is now going to be a little video that, you can always point to and people will know. And sometimes kind of heroic things and good things that have been done by people are forgotten. And so in our little way, in our little video this morning, we tried to maybe remember So thank you very much. I'll stop those recordings.